Hey friends, and welcome to the Paparazzi podcast. Here we chat about all things paparazzi. Tips, tricks, suggestions, and weekly challenges. All to help you grow and explode your paparazzi accessories business to rockstar success. Hey rock stars, what's up? How's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the Paparazzi Stars podcast. My name's Anya and I'm your show host. Today we're going to be talking about basket parties. They are a fun way to have a party on the go. Do you have a friend who is always way super busy and just doesn't have the time to do a home party? Maybe you are just going and don't have a window of time for a home party. Well, today we're going to talk about the perfect solution for you. Okay, now I know you're busy and probably not sitting there taking notes. Maybe you are, but I know that you are a busy person just like me. You might be doing dishes, driving somewhere, doing carpool pickup. You know what? It's totally cool. I've got you covered. Head on over to paparockstars.com/basket-party because we're talking about basket parties today. And right there, I'm going to have all the show notes for you, all the resources that we're going to talk about, the call image, and trust me, you are going to want these. So again, it's paparockstars.com/basket-party. Okay, now that call image I was just talking about, this one's a really funny one. It's a lady who's got her glasses pulled down and she's kind of looking at you in a little bit of a surprised look, and the graphic it says, "You're telling me I can earn jewelry for free?" And then it's got the paparazzi logo, of course. So head on over there, snag that image. You can use it in your social media, in your parties, on your Facebook page, whatever you want to do so that you can rock your business. Okay. Now, let's jump into the training for today. So, parties on the go, basket parties, portable parties, these are all paparazzi versions of a catalog party. Since we don't have an actual paper catalog for people to browse and shop from, you can get some jewelry together and check it out to a friend or to a hostess or just take it around yourself. Then they can take it to work or school or baseball games, dance classes, whatever they're doing. Basket parties work great for summertime or holiday weekends when their friends might be getting together for a barbecue or, a family party. But a formal jewelry party would be just a little bit crazy. Or maybe you have something going on too. So today, let's talk about the ins and outs of a basket party, what you need to know and be aware of, and how to have a great basket party. Okay. So what do you put in a basket party? It's the biggest question that I get. So first of all, you need to get things to hold your basket party in. I got a small tote, Tupperware container from the store, and it holds everything really, really nice. I think it's like a 5-gallon size, maybe bigger. Next, I got some cheap disposable leftover containers to hold everything in except the necklaces. Now, these aren't the little bitty leftover containers. They're kind of the bigger ones. I think one of them even said family size, just to give you kind of an idea. And now, a lot of this is very visual. I understand that. Head on over to the paparockstars.com/basket-party and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about because I'm going to post pictures there too. So I just wanted to kind of walk you through it while we're talking about it, okay? So disposable leftover containers to put everything in. So it's kind of like sub-organized, I guess. And then I grabbed some binder loops. Now these are like the rings that open up and close. They're metal. And I put the earrings on one of those and the bracelets on another, that little loop on the tag. Now this keeps them from getting tangled and makes them really easy for people to grab and to look through. I found what works best is to have the hair clips, the hippie headbands, and the rings in one container, and then the earrings and bracelets in another container, and then I have a separate container for Starlit Shimmer items that I send as well. Now, since the containers that I get usually come in like a 3-pack, they're all the same size and shape, and they stack really nicely inside the tote. I do put the headbands in with the basket party, but I just kind of toss them in there. They fit really well between the containers and the wine tube things that we'll talk about in one second. Now for the necklaces, I use wine bottle holders. Now I got these from a craft store called Michael's, and I'm sure you can find them online. I've looked other places, but Michael's had them for the cheapest and they were pretty cute too. They're cardboard and they're really sturdy. They're just kind of like a tubey thing that's really tall with a lid on top. Now I do kind of repurpose these to hold the necklaces, and I can fit about 20 necklaces in each tube. I put 2 in with my basket parties. They hold the necklaces really nice and they keep them from getting tangled, and they look super cute. Again, you gotta check out the images for these. I also include a cash bag, business cards, the pink paparazzi bags for the hostesses to give to the people who buy them, and then a mirror. That way people can try things on, see how they look, and buy them all from the one basket. I like to put a label on the outside of the tote and the lid as well, and then even on the wine bottle holders. And it says Paparazzi $5 jewelry party on the go. It'll be in the resources section. You don't have to recreate it. Just go get it, print it out. So that, I mean, it helps people recognize what's going on, what it's about. The $5 is really big so that people are like, oh, $5, what's in there? So it's really helpful. I also put some information into a binder that goes into the basket party, and it usually stays with it. This includes frequently asked questions, information about hosting the basket party, information about being a consultant too. This way they have almost everything they need right at their fingertips. Another thing I put in the binder is some coaching for the current hostess. Now I go over this information with her, but it's always good to have it written down so that she can refer back to it. And I'll even show it to her and be like, I know it's fast what we're talking about. It's a lot of information, but it's right here. When you're doing a basket party, there's a lot more that your hostess is in charge of. She has to take that basket with her. She has to show it to her friends and family and help them pick out items. She's in charge of collecting the money and checking them out. Now, the bonus is that she learns what it's like to be a consultant herself, and she can party anywhere and anytime she wants to. It helps to remind the hostess all the places that she can and should take the basket party. So the sky is the limit on this one, people. But sometimes it does take a little bit of walking through to get your hostess thinking like, oh yeah, I could take this practically anywhere. So, okay. The next question I always get, how much jewelry should I put in a paparazzi jewelry basket party? Now, this is another area where the exact contents are totally up to you. When I first started doing basket parties, I usually had about 60 items in the basket party total because I just didn't have enough stock to put more in there and still do home parties and events. Now I've built up my inventory more, so I have my show and party boards, I have my back stock, and I have 2 basket parties going on, and that is all separate from my online party inventory. So I just found it better for me if I can completely separate them. And if I ever need to grab some from like my back stock or from my event inventory, I can, but I'm not relying on the basket party jewelry when I need to go to events. It's just separate. So do what works for you though. If you're a new consultant just starting out, give somebody 30 pieces or 20 pieces and then trade it out after a couple of days. Just see how it works for you. It's not an exact science. It's definitely what works for you. But now I'm sure you're wondering what I put in my basket parties. So I'm just going to tell you what I put. It's not the solid rule. Make it your own, okay? So in my basket party, I have 40 necklaces, and those are divided into the 2 wine holders that we talked about earlier. I have 20 earrings, 20 bracelets, 20 rings. Then I do 5 flower clips, 5 hippie headbands, and 5 regular headbands. This makes 115 total adult items. Now, if my hostess knows for a fact that her people like hippie headbands instead of traditional headbands, or maybe she wants the traditional headbands still, but she just wants more hippies, that's totally fine. I will give her 10 or 15. It just depends on what she wants. I also let my hostesses know that they can refill at any time. So if she totally sells out of hippie headbands, give me a call. I'll give you some more. It's not a big deal. Okay, let's jump back into what I put in my basket parties. The Starlit Shimmer items, I put 10 Starlit Shimmer rings, 20 earrings, and 20 bracelets. And now this is a total of 50 total Starlit Shimmer items. Another thing that is super helpful is I put a small colored dot on the tags of all the Starlit Shimmer items. I don't want my hostess to have to stress about what items are the dollar Starlit Shimmer and what are not. And if you have someone that maybe changed their mind on something, or they just made a big pile and then narrowed it down, or, people do stuff like that. You want your hostess to know really easily where to put it back and how much to charge for everything when she's totaling up that customer. It's really easy to do, and it's inexpensive, and it's really super helpful for that hostess. It's just, I don't know exactly what they're called. Yard sale dots. There's like orange and green and yellow, and they're just plain neon dots. I don't write anything on them. I just put the dot on there so she knows, right on the back of the tag. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about today is the basket party agreement. When you're doing a basket party, this is essential. I can't stress this enough. Now, it's in the resources section along with everything else that I've talked about today. So be sure and head on over there and check this out. But this page is what you record, how many items you send in your basket parties, how many were returned, and when the basket party was checked out. You record the hostess's name and how long she's going to keep the basket party for. Now, it has a little bit of legal jargon too, because it is an actual legal contract. There's a place at the bottom for the hostess's name, address, phone number, and a credit card number. Now, no matter how well I know my hostess, I always make sure that this gets filled out. It just keeps everybody honest. I've heard of some consultants who lost the entire contents of their basket parties because the hostess just never returned it. Now, others disagree about how many items were actually loaned to the hostess and ended up getting shorted on pieces or money, or both. The basket party agreement just keeps everything written down and recorded. Now, another bonus of the basket party agreement is that if the hostess fails to return the basket, you can now charge her credit card for the pieces that she hasn't returned. It's in the contract. It says it right there. Now, I'm not trying to cause any trouble, and I'm not talking about the hostess who wants to keep the party open for another week or two and who has been communicating with you the whole time. I'm talking about somebody who suddenly starts dodging your calls, who doesn't answer the door when you swing by their house, and has pretty much just disappeared off the face of the planet. You cannot find her. It's extreme circumstances. That is when you want to try and charge her card. And if the charges don't go through, you can actually take the basket party agreement into small claims court in front of a judge, and he can order them to pay for the items that were never returned. Now, have I ever had this happen? No, I haven't. But I have heard of other consultants who have, and I think it's best to play it safe on this one. Your friends, your family, your customers, they're going to understand that you're just covering your bases. I mean, this is like $300 of jewelry, people, at least at what I put in my basket parties. But it's not something you just want to hand to somebody and say, hey, have fun. You want to cover yourself. Okay, so that is basket parties in a nutshell. Now, like I talked about before, I have a ton of resources for you today because of basket parties. There's just a lot that goes into them. Now, on the page, paparockstars.com/basket-parties, I have the basket party agreement that we talked about, the party binder contents, the party label, the ones that I put on the outside of the totes. I have pictures, a link to the pictures of the basket party that I do. And I have the little tutorial on how to make your wine bottle holders for your necklaces. It's got some great pictures and how you kind of tweak that to use just for your necklaces. So like I said, a lot of things available for you. Head on over there, check it out, get the things that you need. No use in reinventing the wheel. Just take what I've made for you and use it. You're good to go. Okay, now you know what time it is, right? Happens every call. It is time for the call challenge. Today, I want you to talk to your friends and family. Book a basket party for this week. Check out someone who is thinking of joining your team and see if they want to host a basket party. It's great practice for them and might even get them more excited about joining your team. So are you ready to go? You got those people in mind? I'm sure you've got 2 or 3 people at least who you're thinking of that might want to host a basket party. Write down their names, call them today and ask them. Let's get your business rocking. Okay, everybody, have a fabulous week. Come on over to the website and check us out. I've told you the link several times, but I'm going to do it just one more. paparockstars.com/basket-parties. It's where you're going to find everything from today. The call notes, the image, all those beautiful resources, pictures, you name it. It is there for you. Now, I've also got other images on that website that you can use for your business. They're all organized and categorized to make things easy for you. And then more episodes of the Papa Rock Stars podcast. They're all just sitting there waiting for you. It's great. So head on over there, check it out. Also, leave us a rating or a review on iTunes if you like the podcast. It only takes a second, but it lets iTunes know that this is important and that it's good content so that we can get it into the hands of more paparazzi consultants and that more people can find us. It also gives me a little bit of encouragement to keep up these awesome shows coming at you week after week. So thanks again for listening. I love you guys. Have a fabulous week. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.